Alabama softball coach Patrick Murphy. The Crimson Tide now the lone undefeated softball team at the Division I level. I believe that's correct, right, Murph?
Yes, sir. So don't jinx it.
And a couple of midweek wins here. A couple of games in which it looked like you once again got some really good pitching. The depth of that pitching staff, which we've talked about through the start of this season, continues to show up big for you. But then there are some constants too, I guess, on the offensive side of things. Bailey Hemphill, another home run last night. Caroline Hardy goes deep for you last night. Are you liking the consistency that you're getting in just about every aspect of the game, Murph?
Well, for some people, the offensively, it hasn't been as consistent as I would want. But last night, it kind of worked out perfect for us where we had gone into it. We told him after the game Tuesday night that I really wanted to see all 5 pitchers this week. So Tuesday night, we got to see 2, Sarah and Montana, 5 and 2 innings. And then I said, Crystal's going to start. We'll go in this order, Madison and then Courtney. Well, it worked out perfect. Crystal got 4, Madison got 2, and Courtney came in and looked like, Kimbrough was the reliever and got 3 up, 3 down immediately. So that was perfect. And then Kayla Davis, who's a reserve, she got a pinch hit double, great at bat. Chloe Anderson got her first start of the year. She got 3 at bats. Taylor Clark got to play third base, got another at bat, maybe 2. Caroline Hardy hit the home run, like you said, played first base. So in that respect, it was a perfect night. I just wish that we would have scored more runs. We had a couple opportunities. We had way too many strikeouts, not consistent at all. The 2-hole was 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts, which is not good. So just a couple things like that. But overall, when Bailey can go opposite field for a 3-run home run against a girl throwing 55 miles an hour, it's a damn good night.
She's had a few of those so far, it seems like, Murph.
Well,
you talked about go ahead. I'm sorry.
She blistered both nights. The first night against South Alabama, she hit one basically off her forehead on the scoreboard. She almost hit it over the scoreboard. And then the next night, it was a little right center and just a line drive, like a Barry Bonds, 120 miles an hour out of the park in 2 seconds. So I didn't think it was going to get over, but a little wind helped it, I think.
Murph, you talked about the 2-hole there for a second. Those 1, 2, 9 spots that we know are so critical in the lineup, they're all critical spots. But 1, 2, 9, are you continuing to sort of play with those spots with different players in there in the batting lineup?
Yeah, and it's Tao has been awesome getting on base. I mean, she's got 21 walks. On base is like over 500, so she's been legit. And then another option has been Alyssa, and her on base is about 380, which I prefer the leadoff to be 500 or above. And the thing with Alyssa is she doesn't walk as much. She's a slapper, and usually with a slapper, this is what I tell my defense is, look, if she gets a hit, it's probably going to be a single. So don't walk her. Make her put the ball in play. And then KB tried her a couple times, but her on base is worse than Alyssa's. So I think she's better suited for the 2-hole. And then I need to say one or the other. You're going to be the leadoff. It's probably going to be Tao. So, and then Alyssa would be in the 9 spot, which, like you said, you almost have really 4 leadoffs in a row then, because Skylar would probably be 8-hole, then Alyssa, then Tao, then KB. So it's like boom, boom, boom. And 3 of the 4 have a green light, so you're not slowing down at all. So we'll see. I mean, I'm not, one year I think I had 50 different lineups in 56 games. But this year it hasn't been, nearly that bad. So we'll hopefully we'll settle on something, tomorrow night.
with SEC play opening tomorrow night, with Missouri coming to town, from a pitching staff standpoint, Murph, you've gotten a look at all these arms that you have, but how does it set up now that you're going into conference play there with 3-game series coming on the schedule?
Well, I think it's like, last night after we went to the clubhouse, and I said, look, this is the first, like I call it the preseason, non-conference games, obviously 22-0. I said, you've done everything that we wanted you to do. We really only had one poorly pitched start game, and then the offense scored 16 runs that day. So every other 21 games, we've had a quality start. They kept us in the game. They allowed us to win the game. So pitching has been awesome. Team defense has been great. And then what we always say is we're going to get a hit. Nobody's going to shut us out. Somehow, some way, we'll find a way to score a run. We've done that. But with the pitchers, I said, look, it's like I'm looking at Missouri stats right now, and they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pitchers. And one's pitched 5 innings, one pitched 7. And that's difficult to scout against, to prepare for, because really we have one practice today to prepare for them for the weekend, because we played twice. We had to take a day off. And then our side of it, we have 5 pitchers, 1 lefty, 4 righties, varying pitches, varying speeds. So somebody else has to prepare for us. And it's difficult. So I said, we're going to take advantage of what we have, and we're going to mix and match and, watch film to see who can't hit a lefty, who can't hit a rise ball, whatever it might be. And then we're going to do that because we're going to be very strategic. And it's a marathon, not a sprint, because there's 24 games, and nobody's going to get too high and nobody's going to get too low. And it's going to be the most consistent team for the next, 9 weeks that's going to come home with a ring. And I really believe that they feel like they can do it. I think they feel good about the entire group, which is a key. So I can't wait to get started because I really like this team.
Murph, you talked about a couple of nights ago starting Sarah, and you had Montana come in and close it out. Is that a potential scenario for this weekend? Obviously, or so it would seem anyway, that Montana is going to get obviously her fair share of innings as a starter. But in that closer type role with Sarah, is that something that we might see in SEC play?
Yeah, and really any of them. Like last night, the combination was awesome because you had righty, lefty, righty, hard, like junk, and then Courtney comes in and throws a rise ball, change up, screwball, and it's totally different. And you could see that with their batters. It was like, oh, what the heck is this? But I mean, we haven't really, I don't think, figured out the perfect twosome. Like who's best after each other. So we're going to get to that point, and that's going to be fun when we find out who's best after each other.
So a situational approach very much in play for you guys, and from a pitching standpoint, it sounds like. Now, tell us, Murph, after this series with Missouri, obviously a huge series because it's SEC play, but you guys have a pretty quick turnaround, don't you, to head out to Hawaii?
Yeah, Monday morning at like 5 a.m. So we're playing 6 games out there. It's 1 Wednesday, 2 Thursday, 2 Friday, 1 Saturday, and then we take a red eye back to Dallas Saturday night, get home about 1 o'clock to Atlanta, so probably 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock Sunday afternoon. So it worked out perfect with our schedule, spring break. They had a tournament. We had an opening. We have, obviously, SEC bye week is next week. And we hadn't done it since 2005. And I just feel like this group has really earned a good trip like this. And, really it's because Mary Schroeder, her senior trip would have been this year to Houston. And I don't know if I've told you the story, but 18 months ago when we were trying to decide, we were out at a practice. And I said, Maris, it's coming up and we can certainly go to Houston. I think they have 3 tournaments. And then she kind of said, well, what's the other option? And I said, well, as a matter of fact, the Hawaii coach emailed us today. and it's they have their Bank of Hawaii tournament or whatever it's called, and she said, "Come on, Murph, really?" And I said, "Yes." She said, "Well, there's really not a decision. Can we go to Hawaii?" And I said, "Yeah." So, thank you, Maris Schroeder.
There you go. Maris deserves all the credit for that. And you might have one extra Alabama softball fan from out there, depending on her basketball schedule next week in the Big West tournament. So we'll see how that goes.
I was hoping her mom and dad would come, but I know I understand the travel issues. But, we definitely want to see her, and I'd love for her to meet the team, too. It's going to be cool.
Absolutely. Well, Murph, best of luck in SEC play this week. Safe travels. Next week, we'll try to catch up with you. That time difference, kind of a beast going out to Hawaii. But thanks again for your help, Murph. Good luck.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Travis.